So this is a film for Matt Williams, yeah. The famous container drop, Matt Williams, yeah. So we all know who he is now, don't we? Works on the containers. Well, anyway, he's done what I would like to do, or he's done what you think I should do. He spent his time wisely, and he's put himself on a course. He had a week off, and he booked himself into a welding course. So now he knows how to do welding. So this is, I'm just going to go around a few projects that I've made and codged up. Welding is a fantastic thing to, if you haven't got that in your shed man's armory, please consider go and buy yourself a second-hand, a cheap welder, you know, and begin, and you'll never regret it. It's not a case of being able to weld, it's not a skill. In my case, I treat it like electric glue. I stick it together and I hit it. If it stays together, it lives. If it comes apart, I clean it all up and go again. So it's a great thing to have in your armory. If you're a shed man, you really should consider having a drill of some sort. So we're going to go around a few projects that I've used the drill for here, and there are a few, and there's quite a loads of them. First of all, I made the barrier. These were just brackets, so I added the brackets together, welded them together, made a bracket across here. I made these connections, didn't I, by just welding things together. Welded the nut on here, welded the plate on there. You can make whatever you can think of. Welding is fantastic. Now, why I think it's better than wood, because if you ruin a piece of wood, then you've ruined a piece of wood and you've got to get another piece of wood and start from scratch. See, I've done a handle for the door comes through there. There's my handle. Again, what I've welded up, made up. I wanted this. I wanted to just weld a bit of nut to a bit of a tube, and now use that to support the middle of the door, you know, which connects it to this. I've done loads of welding projects. Have a look up here, see now. This beam, this wooden beam, before we replaced it with the steel beam, it was giving way, it was cracking. So, you know, in between times, I made my own brackets, got some scrap, picked it up, and made myself some brackets to hold the damn thing together, because there's a huge split that runs through here. Bolting it was okay, but I wasn't keen on putting another bolt through it, because I thought it was taking material from it and disturbing it. So I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll clamp it. So I made some clamps, didn't I? We all know about my door inventions. You're up to date with everything I do on the door. It's great. It's given me days and days and weeks of enjoyment thinking about and making door, you know, well, that one, making this here, making that, using what I've got, you know, using what I've got to make my door. Okay, let's put that to one side, because that's a little bit OTT, isn't it? It's a little bit OTT, that door. This is my tub of scrap metal bits and pieces. I don't throw anything away, I use everything. I'm forever in my box looking for stuff. And I have stores, I have stuff about lying around. I do like this metal with holes in, but I tend to keep stuff, whatever I've got, you know, bits of it in the stores. And obviously, being a nut and bolt, they're running out now slowly, aren't they? And obviously, being a nut and bolt man, one of the best things you can do is weld nuts and bolts together. I've got stores here, look, bits and pieces, the longer bits that I keep. If it's made out of metal and you can cut it and grind it and bodge it and weld it together, you can make anything. You can absolutely make anything. You can even make your own brackets. Look, under there. What did I do? No. I strengthened this bracket up, look. Steel. Strengthened that bracket, and I made these. I altered those brackets by welding them together. I made a bracket for this shelf and strengthened. This was a bit weak, wasn't it? So you can see, look, I've got some bits of metal, welded them together. I made a bracket. I made this tool chest holder, angle iron, figured out what went where, and this is, and you know, weld a tube on there that holds that one together, weld another nut on there that holds that in there, put these on the end, put a couple of, I wanted somewhere to hold the handles, so I put a bit bigger places in there. You can make whatever you want to make, and it learns you, or it teaches you to use anything. Don't think I want to make one of these, so I need that sort of equipment. I want something that does this, and you've just got to make it happen. Yeah. So I needed something for this to run in and out of. Weld it up, and you can alter it as many times as you want. Now this particular one, as you can see, there's wheels in the bottom in there. I made the wheels too small and it was too unstable. So then I had to weld another axle in and a bracket and make it a bit more stable to move around. Although it's solid steel, steel and welding and cutting and grinding is such a flexible. You can make anything your heart desires. Whatever you want to make, cut it, grind it, weld it, grind it again, keep moving it around. You can make whatever you want with welding. So let's go and see what else we've done. Little projects that I can show you what we've done with the welder. Again here, look. Welded a nut. Put on a bracket. I've got this. I made this shelf here. Without a welder, I wouldn't have been able to make it. I welded this to this bracket and drilled that in there, look. So again, without a welder, I couldn't have created that. Same here, this is where the idea came from originally. I just used what I got, cut that off, screw that in there, weld a nut up here, put this around here, weld the bar in there which supports that, which makes that shelf work. Lovely. Yeah, again, without a welder, okay, I made something else, but it's a welder that allowed me to make that shaft. You can make whatever the hell you want to make, and you know, we know how this works, don't we? You know how this works. But if you had a door there and you wanted to put a catcher here, and you didn't want it sticking out that you catch yourself on it, you can think of an idea, come up with an idea, get a bolt, weld it in there, make sure that goes like that. This now slides across there, and there we are. And when it's all homemade, it stretches your mind thinking, how am I gonna get around there? It was okay thinking there would be a catcher here, but I thought to myself, coming in and out, you'd catch yourself on it. So I've made it so it disappears. And I've got a little handle so I can operate it from this side. So all I do is that, and it catches the door. Again, homemade. So of course, you know, we made the hinges for this, and we've seen that, and again, sometimes I want to hook it on, just put the hook above it, but sometimes it's a bit windy, so easily just weld one of them onto a nut. Easy. Without a welder, I couldn't have made that, could I? And it's so useful being able to either clip on a windy day or just sit above if I choose to put it just above. And again, we made this door, didn't we? With shelving bars. Okay, it was made a long time ago, and it's going to die soon. So I reckon it's nearly time for replacement. But and again, look, I did my secret catch again using welding. Welded all the locks on. Made this is a downwards door bolt, but now I've put it that way. Yeah. So again, you've all seen my big gates, haven't you? Well, that's the size of that gate, and that is the size of that gate, but I wanted to put them in a bigger gap. So again, using welding, I put the gates in and then matched the gap, put the post in the middle and matched the gap up. So again, look, without the use of a welder and having a welder, you could never have extended the gate to fit. You can make things happen. Again, look, there's the original gate. Just extend a bit on, weld it a bit on, stick it, electrically glue it. It's basically, that's all it is really. Again, I needed at that time a pin that goes down through the door, through the floor. So angle iron with a hole, got the bar, made myself a little keep there, bottom, using what I've got. Okay, don't look very nice. Even these are. I found myself a bit of shelving with a hole in there. Put the bar in, and here's the keep here. Look, just electrically stick it all together. Welding is a fantastic bit of kit in your man cave. You can make and bodge and bang so much. So here is a perfect example of how the welder came to my rescue. You can see now, look, this was a gate. This gate was meant to go that way. And this gate was meant to go that way, across. See, there's the gate. But what I did, I turned them. I put a hinge, a strap. You've all seen these, haven't you? They're just hinges, ready-made hinges, bars. But then the problem was, how do I connect them together? How do I make this door and that door connect together with a big padlock? You could have done it 110 different ways, but I decided to get one of those hinge bars, look, and bend it and shape it. I welded a nut on here, there. I warmed this up, banged it around, welded it here, look. It don't look pretty, but it's doing the job. It's been here for years, and so that's what goes around that there. That's not going to come apart, is it? So likewise here, again, just used the bar, melted it. Even if I'd brought it round, it still would have needed welding there, connecting together. So let me shut it and show you. So as you can see, there's the bars that I made, two different ways. And what I've done is I've welded a nut here and a nut there. So the lock, it can't get past it. So it's a way of locking them together. I mean, you could have done it a load of different ways, but I like this because these now fold out the way. They don't stick out. Trouble with catches and locks, they stick out, you walk into them. Well, I do. So you just rub them together. I knew the size of my lock, I knew what I wanted, and I just put it in there. Easy peasy. A welder, again, the welder coming to the rescue. We all need to have welders in our shed men caves. Here again, look, is one of my Reggie. I bolted this there. The key that goes in there is a keep, and it welds together. There's a smaller nut on the end connected to the big nut, so it just slots in. So this end slots in there, and then you see the other bolts inside. This goes in, the big nut helps it. You've got a bigger target to reach, and all you do is give it 1 or 2 turns, and voila. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfect and good. It would be nice to be skilled, and it would be nice to be patient and grind it and clean it and paint it. But excuse me, that's not me. Just functional, you know, and we've got one there and we've got one down here. It was the same now along here. Can you see this post was a bit movie? So the post was in. When the weight of this door opens, that makes that post flex. So with the help of a welder and a bolt through the wall, I was able to extend this bar across here, weld that to there, weld the nuts and give me some adjustment. So this, weld an end of a nut, stick this through the wall. So I got a fixing through the wall, good strong fixing, and then just adjusted it up as it needed. Same at the bottom, look. It holds that post in place when the weight of the door goes round onto it. It stops it from flexing and moving. And again, look, all it is a bolt through the wall with a nut on the end of it and a bit of adjustment on it. Yeah, so you can make and create. The welder has been a great piece of kit.